2021 is now called to order. We'll start with our Pledge of Allegiance given by Noreen Scott. If all will please arise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Secretary Scott. Kim, can you take a roll call for us?
Yes, ma'am. President Galbraith,
Present?
Vice President Morgan,
Present.
Secretary Scott,
Present.
Board Member Cullen.
Present.
You have a quorum, 4-0.
Thank you. Okay. We would like to welcome everyone out to our meeting tonight. We haven't had a board meeting with this many people all in one room in a very long time. And so it is honestly, I think as we go through this up and down of the pandemic, whenever I get to be around a lot of people that I haven't seen in a long time, it's just a really sweet experience. So I want to just say thank you for being here tonight, and also hi to all those who are watching us online tonight. And hopefully we can continue to stream these meetings in an effective manner so that everyone can watch and be a part. We will move to item D to approve the prioritized agenda and proposed time allocations. Is there any discussion that needs to take place on the agenda as it's been proposed?
This is Secretary Noreen Scott, and I move to approve the prioritized agenda and proposed time allocations.
Do we have a second?
Board Member Jeff Morgan, I second.
Okay. We have a motion by Secretary Scott and a second by Vice President Morgan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries 4-0. Okay, so our next item is very exciting, actually, to get a full board once again, which is the appointment of a board member to fill the vacancy in District 1 on our Rio Rancho Board of Education. And we've had election, and we did our best to wait until we had an election, as it was so close as when Coleman stepped down from the board. So I'm going to let Dr. Cleveland just to take a moment to kind of talk about some of that process that we went through.
When we have within, in the statute, 45 days to fill a position when there's a vacancy. And this came right up to the 45th day in the election. So we reached out to the Public Education Department, specifically the Secretary of Education, Kurt Steinhaus, and said, this is what we would propose to do, that whoever was the one that won the election should be the one appointed to serve out the remainder of the term and then start their own term in January. And Secretary Steinhaus thought that was a very good solution. He ran it by the Public Education Department's legal counsel. They too felt like that was the most defensible thing to do at this point. So we asked Gary Tripp if he would be willing to step in a couple meetings early to finish out the term. And he said he would be willing to do that. So that's how this developed this way. So I think it is a very good way of dealing with the vacancy.
Okay. Any questions from the board on this? And I did, and I'm sure Dr. Cleveland reached out to Mr. Tripp as well, but I did reach out to him and said, this is what we're thinking. We want to make sure this is okay with you. And so, and not just, suppose that we could put him on to the board early. But is there any questions or any discussion that needs to take place on this? And so obviously we're looking at having Gary Tripp, who has won the election, fill that vacancy for District 1. Any questions from anyone?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
This is Secretary Scott. I think we're very fortunate that Mr. Tripp has agreed to serve on the board and that he was elected. He brings a wealth of knowledge for us, having served in this school district and in other districts around the state. And so I think we're very fortunate to have him. Thank you for joining us.
And if someone would like to create a motion, we do have action on this one, though I don't know if we necessarily need to do that, but I think we could go ahead and do that. Does that sound okay, Dr. Cleveland? Okay, if someone would like to create a motion.
This is Board Member Catherine Cullen. I make a motion to approve Gary Tripp to fill the board vacancy of District 1 of Rio Rancho Public Board.
This is Secretary Noreen Scott. I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion by Catherine Cullen and a second by Secretary Scott. And Kim, can you take a roll call vote for us?
I sure can. Just give me a second here. Because I think I turned the mic off. Okay. All right, Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Scott,
Yes.
Board Member Cullen,
Yes.
and President Galbraith.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Perfect. Motion carries. Thank you so much. And congratulations once again, Mr. Tripp. I'm really excited. I don't know if anyone knows, he was the principal, I think, the year I graduated. I am really, really excited to work with him. I am, and when I did speak with him, I just felt really excited to have him with us and helping us to discuss all the matters. So now we will move to item F, which is going to be the swearing in of Gary Tripp onto our board. And we have retired District Judge Lewis P. McDonald here to do that swearing in for us.
What do you want to do? You want to do it in front of the microphone? All right, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Gary J. Tripp. I, Gary J. Tripp. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support. That I will support. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution and laws of the state of New Mexico. The Constitution and state laws of the state of New Mexico. That I will faithfully. And that I will faithfully. And impartially. Discharge the duties of the office of School Board Member District 1, the office of School Board Member District, on which I am about to enter, to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
Let's speak.
You're not much of a politician. Most politicians would die. Well, as the president said, I wasn't a politician until a couple of years ago after I retired. So, but I was an educator for 38 years, and I still do some part-time work in that area. I just want to say to my wife, thank you for being a part of me for 42 years, or allowing me to be a part of her. And what we bring is we bring a lot of family values to this position. We bring a lot of love and caring to the children of Rio Rancho Public Schools. And because we're New Mexicans, we bring a lot of love and caring to every child in the state of New Mexico. And so with that in mind, I'll keep this speech very short and say thank you so much for asking me to come, Madam President and the fellow board members now, and Dr. Cleveland. I thank the administration and all the principals, teachers, educators, all the citizens that helped me be in this seat. And I will promise that I will faithfully serve you to the best of my ability and with the help of God above. Thank you so much.
Before he sits down, do you guys want us to do a picture with him or?
Yeah, I would like you to do.
And then I know Dr. Cleveland would like to speak in just a moment too. So we'll come down for a picture and then we'll let Dr. Cleveland speak. So we have masks on, so- oh, well, that's gonna be-
Make sure I get out of the picture.
You can turn yourself back on now. Okay.
We'll give him a second. We have Miss Tyler here too, so we'll have this all down by the time January comes. We'll be we'll be good to go. All right, we wanted to give Dr. Cleveland just a moment to say a couple words.
Yeah, I'll keep my comments brief. For those of you who may not know, and it's hard to think there might be a few people who didn't know, Gary Tripp came to work for this school district very early in the district's history. Either the second year, third year of the high school opening Rio Rancho High. And then within a couple of years after that, he was the principal of Rio Rancho High during the time of just explosive growth, and certainly helped us through that period. And then he left us, and we were a bit peeved with him about that. But he went to take on the position of the executive director of the New Mexico Activities Association and held that position for many years. And so during that time, we all stayed in touch. Well, Gary didn't always work for this district. He always stayed with this district and always was interested and supportive of our kids and our programs. And so I always felt like he was always part of our district. He came back and worked with us for a while. And then one other thing he did in that time, having come from Moriarty, he worked for a while with Zia Pueblo and with the children there, was very active in attempting to better the conditions that some of the young people were experiencing in their education at Zia. So he has a very rich history, and we're very delighted to have him come in and be on our board. And he has loved this district for a long, long time. And so it's really good to see him in this capacity. I also want to thank Jeanette Tripp. She has a longtime educator in this district, taught elementary, third grade at Enchanted Hills. She survived both Royce and James Cleveland, which was certainly, something to her credit. But she was a fabulous teacher, and so we are really pleased to have Jeanette here this evening, and thank her for her many years of service to our district as well.
All right.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
So Gary, I just wanted to say congratulations. I'm so happy that you're on the board. When Gary worked at the district office, we actually some of the updates on CTE is an initiative, and we worked together on the internships and really talked about the CTE program. So I'm glad that I'm able to share on this board with you before I come off, and be able to get some of these updates and some of these decisions tonight.
Dr. Cleveland, I would like to thank Judge McDonald for being here tonight. It really makes the swearing in special. And I want to thank you for all your years of service. Thank you.
I would add one more thing. I believe Judge McDonald has done all of our swearing in. And so we hope he'll continue to do that. And thank you. I was getting ready to say that and forgot to. But Judge McDonald, thank you so much for being here. And again, he has certainly done that, but he has also worked for many years with our Student Services Department to try to do to improve the coordination services of our children who were involved in the judicial system. And so it has been a long professional relationship. And but we thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Okay. If anyone else wants to say anything. All right. Thank you. So we will now go to item G, which is, so we will consider a motion to convene in closed executive session to discuss the purchase, acquisition, or disposal of real property or water rights by the public body, specifically for the superintendent to inform the board about potential property transactions such as permitted under section 10-15-1H, 8 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. So do we have a motion?
This is Secretary Noreen Scott. I move that we go into executive session.
Okay, do we have a
Board
second?
Member Jeff Morgan, I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Secretary Scott and a second by Vice President Morgan. Kim, can you take a roll call vote for us on this?
Vice President Morgan?
Yes.
Secretary Scott?
Yes.
Board Member Cullen?
Yes.
Board Member Tripp?
Yes.
And President Galbraith?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Motion carries 5-0. It's good to hear that again. Okay, so we will now take a short time to be into executive for minutes.
Madam Chair, it says on here that we'll reconvene at 6 p.m. So do we need to let people know that that's approximately the time we'll be back?
Yes, so we will, is that going to be enough time with how much time we've taken? You feel like that's going to be enough
But I
time?
think it's safe to say approximately, and then.
Okay.
we'll know.
We will be approximately back at 6 p.m. Yes. Okay. All right. We good? Should I? I'll gavel it.